Alright, next deck of the day is Swain Thresh. So this is a mid-range list we played on stream not too long ago, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I wanted to kind of revisit it, get some more games with it, but I actually did tweak the list slightly. So the previous list had a couple copies of... Oh geez, now I'm blanking on the name. The 4 mana 3/3 that kills one of your things to revive it. What's her name? Chronicler of Ruin. The original list had a couple of Chroniclers of Ruin, which didn't feel that great in the list. Like she didn't have that many great targets for it other than Curse Keeper and Rekindlers on occasion, but chances are, you know, in games where you could get a lot of value off of Rekindler, then play Chronicler of Ruin to get even more stuff, you're probably winning those games anyway. It just seemed unnecessary. So I cut these, plus another one of our cards, I believe it was a Scorched Earth, to play some Blighted Caretakers. This is a card that not only lets us apply pressure in certain matchups, but it lets us control the board in others, all the while providing us more bodies to sacrifice to things like... you know, Noxian Fervor if we need to, but also, and Glimpse Beyond again if we need to, but also just provide more stuff for Thresh to see die so we can get him leveled more consistently. And I've played it a little bit on the ladder and on like the normal queue as well, which I know might not be that big of a deal to some people, and the changes felt good, so I wanted to take it onto the ranked queue and play that format a little bit more and see how it feels. 2 champs at the same mana cost. Yeah, I don't really have anything, I guess, specific to say about it. I guess it really all depends on the deck. Obviously, you know, this deck is one such example. I think I know what you... Like, I mean, let's look at, for example, other decks that have had that kind of setup, right? Like the Draven Ezreal decks, they've never felt that bad, right? But obviously, in the case of Draven Ezreal's not really a 3-drop. Like, you can play him on 3, and maybe if you banked some spell mana on 2... you can, or on 1 and 2, if you only played 1 mana on 2 for some reason, then you can get some advantage off of his stuff. But really, you know, Ezreal's supposed to be like a cheap late game card that you play and to do this kind of, use his effect to close games out. In a deck like this, I don't know. I think it's fine. I mean, obviously... Swain Leviathan is like our main, what we're looking to do most of the time. Sometimes we're playing Swain on 5, but not always. Usually he's coming down post Leviathan to really apply pressure onto the opponent, really force their hand in a lot of situations, whereas Thresh is probably the 5-drop we most want to play, because we can start using, you know, his challenger ability to control the board, start seeing some of our units die. Yeah, we want to get him down as early as possible and start working towards his level up so we can play Swain for free. I mean, that's the ideal anyway. So I don't know that I have anything specific to say about 2 champions at the same cost, just in general. I guess it just really depends. I get the idea. I guess what you're implying is that isn't it better to have like a curve of champions? And the answer to that is maybe. It just probably just depends on the deck. I'm not that much of an expert, so I don't want to say anything definitive either way, because like it really just depends, I think, most of the time. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about this anyway. I think the list felt reasonable. Most importantly, it was very fun. So made this slight change and see if it makes it a little bit more consistent in some ways. So we'll see how it feels in that regard. Pirate Burn, well, that's a curve. We're attacking on 2, so we'd rather play this on 2 just so we have blockers for their next attack. I kind of like going Curse Keeper into Blighted Caretaker on the 2 following turns, obviously. So I think that's fine to keep. Then we have a Thresh now, too, as a follow-up. He's not going to get to see this interaction, but I think that's okay. Like, this can still take out, like, a Misfortune or some other nasty threat. Can we dodge the Saboteur on? Never. I don't think in the last like 4 months I've played this game have I been able to avoid this card on 1 against our opponent's archetype. Just always have it. The other card that's in our deck that is going to be very good in this matchup that we'd like to see is our Doom Beasts, to just gain us a little bit of life. I'm actually fine if they want to trade the 2-1 for the 2-2, so I'm just going to go ahead and swing here. This is actually a great draw because it gives us a meaningful blocker for this turn while still allowing us to play the Curse Keeper if we wish.
That egg, did it move?
So we can do this.
Everything's in place.
Marks and actually, I'm just gonna jump block and trade those off.
Love ya.
Maybe this is wrong because, yeah, you know what? I was probably supposed to do that the other way because I'm gonna create 2 saplings and now the 1 sapling can't kill her. So that was a mistake. I definitely should have marked damage on her so that the sapling could have finished her off. We'll see if that matters. They're probably playing nothing out here until after my attacks. I had to guess. Nope, they're playing something that doesn't die. That's fine.
You grow up so fast.
Come on. There we go. Yeah, big mistake not to play the, not to block Misfortune with the 2-2 last turn.
I'll burn for what I've done.
Just go ahead and do this. Keep our board as big as possible. This actually means we could. Oh, that's actually not a bad draw. I was gonna say we could play Thresh here.
Change a damn thing between us.
If you insist.
I am supposed to kill Misfortune here, because this means that more of our stuff can actually block meaningfully.
I'll shed a tear. Let him bleed out.
Could be right to bank spell mana there, because we're almost certainly playing Thresh, and if we draw something like the spell that we want to play, but I think I also like applying pressure too. We're definitely going to trade off here if we can. I say trade because they're likely going to have something to use with this powder cake to finish it off.
Keep up,
Especially with this draw.
Grow furrows. Like a worm on a hook.
Actually, am I supposed to hook the spray fin here? Gangplank can get pretty scary though. And if it encourages him to use a removal on this, I think I'm fine with that.
Why are you here?
Like a Noxian Fervor or something. Which I guess is not that great because he just kills the powder cake that's gonna die anyway. I guess he could gamble with Make It Rain too. The decks don't normally run that. So alright, well, we're dead to a lot.
The few for the many.
So, it probably didn't matter, but worth noting is still we made that mistake in the early game with the Misfortune. Not blocking in a certain way to get it so that we ended up drawing a bunch of Scorched Earth that didn't really have text anyway, I suppose, so it didn't matter. Well, it could have, because we could have hooked the Zap Spray Fin. They would have had one less thing to sacrifice to the to that Demolitionist, although they could have blocked in a certain way to make that not matter. And they had plenty of cards in hand, so it probably ended up not mattering, but it's still a mistake worth noting. Noxian Fervor can be iffy. Like, they don't have a ton of interaction, but they could Mystic Shot our thing that we want to hit, and I'd rather look for blockers anyway. I think Death's Hand's fine keep, though. That's pretty good. Scorched Earth probably not going to be all that valuable.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Teemo's not that big a deal.
Swiftly. That's gotta sting.
Teemo's only going to be scary when they start playing things like Vision. The mushrooms we don't really much care about. Yeah, I guess we play this. A spider of their own. I guess that means we pass. They play a Draven next turn, that would be obviously really good for them. Let's see what we can draw, though. I guess we could go Death's Hand, Ravenous Flock the Draven, which is not that great, but with that, I think we'll go ahead and Death's Hand the Teemo. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Just trying to help.
Really want something else to play next turn other than this Cursed Keeper, unless we can pair it with a Noxian Fervor. Okay. Annoying, but not the worst. Especially if we can find our Blighted Caretakers or Thresh. How about another 5-drop we can't play?
Time for the main event.
I think I might actually Death's Hand this. Just so their open attacks is bad. In the face of with the Ravenous Flock here. That means we can't play Swain next turn, though. Yeah, maybe that's wrong for this reason. But I guess we don't care about playing Swain if they open attacks, which they're doing.
Axes coming right up.
I like this more. It's not as a resource efficient, but it does go towards leveling Swain. So let's do that. Another Scorched Earth is a really bad draw. Like our draws have not been great for this matchup for sure.
The sun rock got me good.
If we can draw a 3-mana damage dealing spell, this Swain could potentially let us sweep their board.
The people are my
Not anymore. We don't have any 2-mana deal damage spells, unfortunately. Huh. That's a decent draw, assuming they don't open attacks, but I imagine they are going to do that.
Anything helps.
Gonna use our Swain pretty aggressively here, especially because we have a Rekindler in hand. Unfortunately, we can't level him because they had nothing injured to use that on. Oh, I guess we can now, though, right? Because this is going to bring back the Swain, and then we can kill this. What are the chances we can dodge?
Oh, it is a great day for a reckoning.
Okay, good chance they have something they can play to block this Swain next turn. If they don't, we're in a really good spot.
rules are made to be broken.
Like buildings.
Or people.
Leave them nothing.
If this gets them to throw away their
No, I'm trying to
Jinx,
shoot you.
especially before leveling her, I think that's really good. This is still this alone is still 6 damage though, so that's very scary. Yeah, so we're dead.
I'll give you to the count of bicep. Everyone goes boom.
Oh yes, she does our visitors. What's that noise?
So we can still top deck a removal here. Nope. Oh well.
A minor setback.
Close game. We almost got to do the thing with Swain and like wipe their board, which would have been really cool. Even if we still lost after that, I would have been happy that we got to do that. Yeah, I think we played that as well as we could have considering our draws. They were about as good as we could have hoped for. Scorched Earths that had no text instead of Death's Hands or Noxian Fervors, and yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Death's Hand kills their Lucians, and we can bank spell mana on one, so I think that's fine. Because of that, probably not playing the Hapless Aristocrat unless they go... Unless they play like that 1 mana 2/1. I'd rather just bank the spell mana. Speaking of Scorched Earth, this is probably a game where suddenly Scorched Earth is not going to be around.
What's that noise?
Even though they'll probably play Plaza.
Oh, fresh soil. That egg. Did it move? The grow follows.
Definitely worth doing this, I think, rather than killing this with Death's Hand. We'll just take 6. I think that's fine. Doom Beast is nice. Do we want to play this, or do we want to just bank spell mana? I think I play this because if we top deck our own Blighted Caretaker, that would be amazing. There's a Scorched Earth. Puts this into Death's Hand range, so I'm fine with that.
My saplings.
I'm gonna pass because it doesn't really matter if I play the Death's Hand, which is my only real play. And, do we want to play Swain? I think we can play Swain.
There you are.
Too bad we don't have a way to kill this.
Swain. Indecision is the first of many weaknesses.
Okay, he's opting to trade 2 damage for drawing 2 cards with Glimpse Beyond, I guess, with this. Or not. Sure. We're probably dead here. I mean, we have Doom Beast, which is helpful. They got off to a pretty good start, so I don't imagine we can come back from this. We'll see, though. Noxian Fervor, kind of nice. This is not even that big of a deal if they just want to take this hit.
Give them a chance!
Yeah, with another Swain in hand, I don't think I care about that.
Submit to battle.
That's weird, I didn't see the level up animation for him. So we can play leveled Swain and then Death's Hand to stun their biggest thing, but if it's a Hecarim, their chances are they're just gonna open attacks rather than give me a chance to play 2 cards. But we'll see.
Lovely day for a battle.
That could also do well to keep them alive.
Rise.
So they could actually still hit our Swain with Thingy next turn, which is annoying. So they're going up to 19, we're going down to 6, assuming we chump block all of these. Pass. Which we are going to do, by the way. Oh right, I forgot about that chariot too.
Justify yourself.
Probably need to do this just to keep our life total as high as possible.
Their time has come. I will break it.
Lady Elise, where are you? What's that noise?
They only had one option, whatever it was. Hopefully it's not a Doom Beast.
Lady Elise, where are you?
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and kill this now.
You dare oppose Noxus?
I assume we're gonna see a harrowing out of them, because that's usually how games like this go. We get this close and then we just die. Because of that, I'll play this, because if we top deck a Glimpse Beyond, I can draw 2 in response to that and have another blocker. I guess their harrowing's not that great because they have I guess we'll do this because it's an ephemeral they don't have potentially to bring back another Shark Chariot to go wide around us, plus it gives us another blocker, so I think it's the way we gotta try to win this game. So I don't think we're dead. I think we can live this combat step, so if they don't have a really good top deck, this Swain will kill them. Yeah, which they're debating on what keeping this back as a blocker for that reason.
Indecision is the first of many weaknesses.
The game was definitely not over. They could have done nothing, and like, they were still in an okay
History
spot.
will remember us.
Maybe they know, you know, based on what they have in their deck, maybe they know that they can't win the game from that position. Oh, right, they kind of fucked up, right? Because they killed their ephemeral unit so they wouldn't get in a big attack. So they should have gotten rid of a spider. Attacked with the chariots, forced me to have a bunch of bad blocks. Then they could have played, man. This is probably not a good matchup for us, huh? I don't think I like the Doom Beast. Thresh is probably a bit too slow. I need, like, other things. Our deck plays a lot of 1/1s to, like, gum up the board, and that's just not good against Fiora. Unless we have something like this, potentially.
These woods protect their own. Who goes there?
Skip.
By my honor, you must die.
What's that noise?
Okay, these are some decent draws
The eye of
against the
Twilight
Fiora
sees
deck
all.
for sure. Okay, so I tried a Noxian Fervor. They single combat in response. Now, if they don't single combat, let's see. I can choose this so they can't single combat with this, which means they have to mark damage on one of these two, which means I can finish it off with Ravenous Flock. I think that's what I want to do to start. Oh no! Oh, that was a mistake.
Oh God!
I was supposed to do this in
This is her
response.
followers.
Please, I have connections!
Oh, damn it, we would have been such a... Ah, freaking hell. I don't know why I thought priority would pass back to me. Well, I guess we could still do it anyway, but... We would have a 1-1 still?
Protect House Laurent!
Or this would have a point of damage on it, which is what I should have. Wow, I've never leveled Swain on 5 with this deck before. If they pass the hold up
Always two
riposte,
steps ahead.
So I do this, it forces them to block.
My life for these lands.
Thresh is kinda nice.
Strike quickly, strike dead. Try me.
My legacy.
What do we think? Am I playing Thresh or am I playing another Swain? Might be both.
What delightful agony we shall
I think we'll start with this and see where we go from there. Ooh, okay.
Oh, yes! It has our visitors!
The fate of mortals and spirits falls to me.
Grow follows.
Do I even want to attack with Thresh? I don't think so, actually.
Understood.
They probably have something like a concerted strike anyway to finish him off, but... Oh, they did that in the wrong order, I think. No, not necessarily. They could very well have wanted to keep Fiora alive.
Too easy.
Oh, this is a mistake. I shouldn't give... Well, it doesn't matter because he gets to create a barrier. Ooh, that's really nice, though.
Soldiers, to me!
fear the power you do not see.
Follow my lead!
En garde!
Know your place.
Okay, so I Noxian Fervor here, I think, or is it here? He can't single combat this in response.
Realities and inevitability.
That potentially dies. Wait, is she 1 away or 2 away? She's 2 away.
Victory at any cost. It's over when I say.
Okay, I think we're in a really good spot now. Double Swain would have been nice, but I don't think it was worth risking losing like our Swain or anything like, or our Thresh, because Thresh is just like it's just a free.
vision to see what others cannot.
Game's far from over, though.
Lead on Noxus.
I think we save this. We're gonna chump block something, try to draw 2.
Rivers shape the land and give it life. You're in over your head.
Going somewhere.
I want this guaranteed to die. I don't want him to draw a thing. So... And if he could play a spell to do it, I suppose, but...
What form will the waters take? A gift from the river folk.
I don't forget. There's nowhere to hide.
I just attack, right? Because he can't block with... I guess he could play Riposte and do it.
We burn, then kindle anew.
I guess this is bad against another Concerted Strike. Oh, okay. This doesn't work the way
Stay back.
I thought.
Strike.
I thought because he was a second one, he would bring back another Swain. So why does it work? I guess it works with Rekindler if it had brought him back because it's another instance of
Followers.
that card, I guess. I guess that's how that works. Okay.
What form will the waters take?
Well, if that worked the way I was hoping it worked, I think we were in a good spot, but now I don't think we are.
Blesses her followers.
Join the conflagration.
This thing is just like giving us the beat down, so let's try to kill it. Sure. That's fine. Our tier nothing deck almost beat the tier something deck, so. I don't think my screw up in the early game with wasting that 1/1 mattered, by the way. Ultimately, I don't think that matters. A little disappointing that we couldn't close that one out, considering how close we got, but it is what it is. We need early game. I kind of want the Thresh, though, because they tend to have, like, they probably have Zap Spray Fins that are going to be annoying. They have enough interaction that, like, Fervors aren't going to be good, necessarily, so I like...
What's that noise?
I like having a Thresh that can do that without relying on the body kind of surviving, you know what I mean?
No.
It'd be nice to be able to play this post-Thresh, but I don't think we're going to get that luxury. Probably definitely going to have to play it next turn, yeah, especially the way our draws are lining up here.
Packed 'em good.
AKA not very well. Is this... Are we actually popping that? Might be that might actually be what we're interested in doing.
Got a surprise for him.
Please, I have connections!
I'm gonna start like this. There's a fervor like we were talking about. See, the problem is he could have that effect that's like all battling allies get X, which would be annoying. I'm gonna just actually kill this. Yeah. Yep, I like that. I think we'll try this because it's resource efficient. Plus, like if he wants to stop it, he has to spend another removal spell. I think that was worthwhile.
Never lost a fair game. Played one.
Slightly more resource efficient because we were going to lose one of this one mana anyway, so I like doing this. This is probably a Thresh turn, just because then we'll have the option of maybe getting a small unit into Blighted Caretaker and start messing up their board. But then again, Swain is probably what we want to play just because they don't have blockers, he's going to get the level.
By my hand will Noxus rise. We are at war. You dare oppose Noxus?
I think I'm okay. Would I rather have another Swain in hand, or would I just want to kill this here? I can always use a Thresh. But then if that fails... Well, if it fails, I have Scorching. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think this is fine. Ice of... Pretty good draw. I'd like to try to keep the Thresh alive, so maybe I just take the hit. It's also possible... Definitely gonna do one of them. I don't know about both, though. Yeah, I mean, we just take two. This level's Swain. We'll play him out, see what our opponent does. Might actually start with this. Is that true? Let's start with this and see what our opponent does.
Above all. The few for the many.
Could Scorch Earth this.
Aren't any gods here? Just me. You wanted wrath? Pledge or perish.
They don't tend to have pump effects in their decks, so I think we want to do this. Then whatever if they want to get value off the Sleep with the Fishes, we finish off their unit with Scorched Earth, which is nice. I mean, we have another Thresh, so that's nice. And we can finish this off with that. Noxian Fervor can be saved for something, but I like the idea of them not getting as much value off, or them not leveling their Swain. Oh, they're going to level their Swain anyway. In that case, I think we want to save this for their Swain. I think. Plus it's reach, if we need it to be.
Lock the doors.
Leviathan's obviously a nice pickup.
Prepare the cargo. Prepare the cargo. There is no excess when victory is at stake. Careless the lot of you. You lost soul.
Just want to keep our life total as high as possible here. Plus we have this. Yep, bye opponent.
History will remember us.
Okay. Not sure about this one, but we'll see what we can do. I think our deck's probably a little too slow to beat most of their draws.
It's just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly!
Would have preferred this was Death's Hand, but no such luck. Second Leviathan, not very good. Usually the way you beat these decks is you race them, and I don't think we have a particularly fast draw on average. We do have fast draws, but this is definitely not the start. Would love to see a Blighted Caretaker off the top here. Otherwise, this Noxian Fervor might be okay. I think we're gonna start with attacking, because if they found the thing that gives her Spell Shield, we want a Noxian Fervor in response. Yeah. Also a reasonable thing to do in response, I think. Especially because they have no mana up. Fortunately, they still get to keep their Zenith Blade. We do get a Thresh on our next attack step, which is nice, though. Okay, well that's what they found with Thingy. Are they gonna give it Overwhelm with this? If that's the case, maybe we Scorched Earth? Nah, I don't think so. They usually kill us by miles, not inches, so I'm fine just going 1-to-1 here. I guess I should have been thinking about Pale Cascade. That's fine.
Look at this reality! Look how sparkly!
Question is, do they have Concussive Palm here to stop Thresh from hooking, from challenging Zoe? I feel like they would have snapped it off here, but they didn't, so they probably don't.
Meaningless without skill.
That makes me tempted to use Scorched Earth because that barrier doesn't help with that. But there's also a chance they just chump block one of the things with Lee Sin, so... These were unfortunate draws, but it's gonna happen sometimes. Noxian Fervor, not bad. want to do this before he gets barrier. Hopefully we can dodge a Notify. Opponent's likely to use it though if he has it. Because I think they understand what we're trying to set up here with this. Just let him do these things.
My lands need me. Prepare yourself.
I think this is a good open attack, especially because he needs more to prevent.
Lilies? Where are you?
She lets you run. Very good.
I think we want to do this to bait out a deny.
Center your spirit.
We're not dying, so I think we play this for sure.
Machines mean nothing to the dragon.
Could play another Leviathan, which would kill him. Assuming he doesn't have another Lee Sin with Thingy in hand. I think we just want to play this.
The dragon has fire, after all.
They could have, okay.
Artillery barrage! Victory awaits!
Oh, I guess this doesn't stun the...
Darken the sky! Bleed for Noxus.
Yeah, no, that doesn't stun what I was hoping it would stun. Never mind. We gotta hope they can't make this super big then.
Destination in sight! Bring these lands to their knees.
Okay, cool. Our big boats beat the Lee Sin deck.
Praise the Noctora! Remember this day!
Just under an hour with this deck. Let's go one more. One more and I think I'm gonna call it a day. I was planning on doing 4 decks today, but viewer count dropped off. I don't know why. This deck is super sweet, man. And, I don't know. I don't know if I want to play another one. Do I? I don't know. Kind of iffy. The one I had planned to play, I'm not super excited to necessarily, but I'll think after this. What do we got going here? Shrooms, but no Sedge? Sedge is like the worst part about that. Swain... he can get in. That's definitely a thing he can do. We have enough 5-drops to draw between now and then that it... Wow, okay. don't know that I want to play a game with a hand like this. I suppose we'll give our first few draws a shot and see what we do. This might draw us into stuff that we can do. We can actually survive. Then this is a pretty... This is some quality top end here. Okay, there's one of our... Alright, because we're gonna... It's resource efficient, there's a good chance he can't interrupt us doing this. Yada yada yada. We're gonna draw some cards and do this thing. Oh, look at that. Our opponent knows our hand is crap, so they're helping us draw cards here. Isn't that nice of them? I'll pass for now and see what they do. We might be able to get a pretty good turn with this Noxian Fervor, kill a threat, then attack with a 4/3. No such luck. Our opponent doesn't want any of that nonsense.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk.
Winter take you!
This is kind of risky because they could have things like Get Excited plus Mystic Shot to stop this. Maybe I'm actually supposed to do it this way.
Reality's inevitability.
And obviously they could have things like Troll Chant to protect this, but...
I've always been a fun guy. Look out!
Nobody can escape.
We're just gonna take this hit here. I don't mind trading off the Thresh, but we should get some value off of it first, I think.
Lady Elise, where are you?
She let you run. Very good.
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
This might be the more important card to kill, but we're gonna start here and see what our opponent does. This is a tough one. I think we just say okay for now. Let's start with this and see what he does. I probably should have started with this here because I had a feeling he'd obviously have something to protect us if he's just gonna play it out. So I could have denied him some mushrooms first, I suppose.
If you could back it up.
think we need to try this. We're kind of obligated to, I think. If it fails, it's fine. We're gonna lose this Thresh, and then we bring him back with Rekindler.
Charge!
Because I'd rather play
Nailed it.
Thresh this turn. Or Swain, excuse me. Ooh, I guess we can't because we don't have the board space, huh?
They don't know what they're up against.
Well, I guess we just play him then. Now we have the board space. Oh wait, we're gonna get back. Who are we gonna get back if we play this, actually?
One candle for every soul.
I'm assuming we're just dead. Like, they probably have a second Ezreal by now. We're at 10. Wow, that actually counts as targeting. Yep. That's funny. We can't even kill Ezreal with this Swain either. It feels extra bad. Our draws have been awful this game anyway. We mulliganed a hand into 2 7-drops and 2 8-drops. So, losing that game in that fashion is like, whatever. Had we actually had plays, it would have been a much different game. Based with our opponent's start, actually, we could have actually had a pretty aggressive curve and forced them to make some bad blocks at some point. I don't like any of this. I want actual blockers. Or a Blighted Caretaker to go with our early game if we're going to have a bunch of Cursed Keepers and whatnot. But I think either way this will be the last game we play with this deck. I just kind of wanted to do... I wanted to play another game where we didn't mulligan into trash, and then see how it goes, but win or lose, this is gonna do it for me for these games. Probably just supposed to play the 1-drop so we can at least block something that they play. They could play... in their regions, they could have a number of interesting 2-drops to play here. Want to make their open attacks not so good. I'm going to attempt to Death's Hand the Zoe so they don't get more card advantage off of her, but if that fails... okay. Wonder if we'll see them play Danger Noodle here.
Riddle me something cool!
Please, I have connections!
They're just gonna gem the goat. I think that's fine though.
Oh, dizzy.
Oh yes, she does love visitors! Everyone's a garden.
They don't want to play out another threat just to get challenged. Means we at least get a decent attack. Oh, I don't care about this.
Come this way.
I won't attack with that, but... I don't care about this. If they want to do it just to block a 1-1 and get some more gems, You go for it, man. Him using these combat tricks defensively is very good for us. Probably gonna play a Thresh. If they play a Plaza, I guess we'll Scorched Earth just in case.
Titus may have an answer.
I think we might actually Swain the following turn. Before anything. Depends on what they do. I guess they could play a big scary dragon that would make us sad. So maybe that's a reason not to, but... eh. I kind of want to threaten this.
Dragons, such fascinating creatures.
Okay, a good chance they're able to play something that can block this Swain.
Born a patrician, I became a soldier.
But I guess them playing that out is good for us in a way. They can't develop the board with other things they might want to. Oh, well, that's interesting. I don't mind marking damage on this, I don't think. I suppose... what could he play that makes us sad?
I smell fear.
Not the egg.
I guess he could triple gem her to heal her, but eh. Getting close to being able to drop down Leviathan. Swain's nowhere near leveling, of course, but yeah, we'll get there. Death's Hand. This might be probably Scorched Earth actually.
Watching you, dragon.
Let's just try this. It has huge upside if it resolves. They could obviously have another Pale Cascade or like thingy that this would work on, but
Their time has come.
probably gonna see him go for Thresh here, which I think is correct. I think I want to bank the spell mana for this because
Order, sir! Bring forth our army.
if they want to do something like Concerted Strike on this, I want to have something in response that can take that option away. Could also potentially level Swain this turn with this, and he knows I have this in hand. He's got to be a little careful. I guess Concerted Strike kills Swain either way, huh? Well, he knows I have this in hand. So I'm assuming he has a healing spell. So I probably just let this happen. As tempting as it would be to level him up, it's probably not happening. We could try to kill him in response here. It's probably not going to work. We're getting another Swain anyway by dropping this Leviathan, so I think we just make him have it. We can't play like a bunch of Swains anyway. We probably want to play Leviathan again. Slowly start to... Really? What the hell? Well, that went better than expected. I'd really like to keep my Leviathan alive though, so I don't think I'm attacking with it. What could he do? He could play like double Pale Cascade. I don't think that's what's happening.
Battle station!
I'm gonna go ahead and swing.
How bothersome.
Him losing a Shyvana that's about to level up and potentially generate a ton of card advantage with her Strafing Strikes could be nasty. I guess it's not really card advantage per se, but...
Come face me.
Deal.
No remorse.
Did we know? I should have checked if that dragon was one that was created from the one of the researchers. It would have actually told us that.
Artillery barrage!
That Rekindler's very, very nice. See what they play though.
Ask me about dragons, I just may have an answer.
That's not particularly scary though. Huh. I could destroy this, and then whatever dragon they play can't do much to what I have going. Chances are it can't kill me anyway. That's not true. They could have generated something pretty nasty. Chances are we can go wide around them too. Like this is dealing 3, this is dealing 2. If they can kill this, then we have like Leviathan to do our thing.
I have the scars to prove it. Follow the tracks.
I pass because if they pass back, the game's won. So depends on what they have. The onus is on them to do something. Yep.
Prepare the cargo! Artillery barrage!
Yep. Not bad. Nice runs there for this deck. Yeah, I don't know. This deck, I don't know if this deck is good, but it's certainly fun when it gets going. I mean, Swain, Leviathan is just a nice combination. It feels nice to have a bunch of things we don't mind targeting with Noxian Fervor to not only quickly level Swain, but control the board, and in some cases, close games out with the reach that it provides. Obviously, you know, we run the risk of our stuff getting hurt by it, so you have to be a little strategic with how you use it. Sometimes it's worth using on your big bodies, your champions with their big booties here, so that you don't get got by things like single combat or mystic shot or what have you. And then of course we always have Rekindler to bring them back anyway as the game goes along. Yeah, I think I like the Blighted Caretaker change overall with this deck. I think, you know, some number of these is definitely feels good to have. Whether or not it's this mix or whether or not, you know, the things like Cut For It is correct has yet to be seen. We'll see. I think I'm fine with 2 Scorched Earth. Feels like it's plenty in this deck. You know, obviously if landmark decks that give this deck problems in particular become more prevalent, then maybe, you know, going back up to 3 copies is worthwhile. Because its secondary effect can be, you know, can be good in certain situations as well. Doom Beast being both a way to, you know, apply pressure against slower decks, slow down more aggressive decks with its life drain, and on top of all that, being a way to level Swain is awesome. Even post like leveled Swain, it can do work because the drain 2 counts as Nexus damage, and then they stuns their biggest thing, which can be hilarious. It can either buy us time, or if it's on our attack turn, can maybe let us go wide, finishing our opponent off. Yeah, Swain is like one of my favorite champions in this game, if not my favorite. And any deck that feels reasonable that uses him, you know, it's just a good time for me. So if you too like Swain decks and looking for something a little different beyond the, you know, playing him with Twisted Fate or Ezreal or what have you, look no further than Swain Thresh. I think it's I don't know, it's surprisingly fun. All right, that's gonna do it with that deck.